If you're having a lot of stomach pain, colon pain, and doctors are just saying it's IBS or they literally just can't figure it out, then this one's going to be for you. My name is Talia. I'm a 26-year-old, and for the last decade, I've been fighting for my life, fighting for my diagnosis, and fighting for doctors to actually pay attention to me. In 2026, I decided I wanted to go on Instagram and share my story. And very quickly, a lot of you guys have been asking me all types of questions about my symptoms, about how I got my ileostomy bag, all of the shebang. So let's talk about it. I have a lot of health conditions. I have fibromyalgia. Who doesn't? I have POTS. I have mast cell activation. I am hypermobile. They're thinking I either have some sort of EDS, so I'm in the process of that. I have slow motility. That's a colon thing. I have pelvic floor dysfunction, obstructive defecation. I have endometriosis stage 4 all over my bowels, all over my rectum. Trying to think, do I have anything else? Maybe, if it comes up, it comes up. But today I want to specifically talk to you about my colon and the decade-long experience it's taken me to finally get to my diagnoses. And now I can finally say that my pain is managed and I live a pretty great life. I am disabled. I still, I use a cane, I use a rollator, and sometimes a wheelchair, especially when I'm leaving the house. But I can say I'm no longer screaming in pain, so yay. This is probably going to be a two-parter, hopefully not a three-parter. I'm thinking two-parter. I want to share with you guys the start of my symptoms and how they've progressed, what they specifically look like as it pertains to my colon. I want to talk to you guys about all the GI doctors that I've seen and the different things that they thought I had, the things I got misdiagnosed with, the tests, the treatments, all of the things, and then part 2 is most likely going to be my journey at Cleveland Clinic finally. I had to travel across the US to finally get a doctor to pay attention to me. So that's probably going to be part number 2. So let's start with my GI symptoms. This document comes from my medical binder. This binder has all types of treatments and procedures like colonoscopies, endoscopies, upper EUS, I think it's what it's called, all types of things. So I would take this to my doctor's appointment when I'm seeing a new doctor. But then when I got to Cleveland Clinic, I was like, I need to condense this because they're not going to care about that. So that's pretty much what this list is. So if you see here, the first half of the page is just specifically GI symptoms that I used to have. I still have some of them. I don't have all of them because I have an ileostomy bag. I'll probably create a video in the future about like why I specifically chose to get an ileostomy bag, not a colostomy bag, and that whole fight with my surgeon. But right now we're just going to talk generalization. So, this is gonna be a little rough, but let's do it. So my GI symptoms, they pretty much started at puberty and slowly got worse. I hit puberty at 12, and again, I'm 26 as of 2026. And when I turned 12, obviously I have endometriosis too, so I feel like that's another big factor and could be one of the reasons that my colon is just super dysfunctional. I also am a sexual abuse survivor. I was raped one time anally, or maybe, I think it was at least one time anally. So that could also be the reason my guts don't work. But either way, I still want to go through this. So when I was 12, the symptoms started. I'm just going to list them off. So basically, anytime that I ate, I had pain in my stomach. So where my belly button is, kind of like around that belly button area, it would just really hurt. It would really hurt to eat a normal sized meal. So I really struggled with eating. As a child, I would say I was average weight, but I definitely could have been bigger. I loved food. I just struggled to eat a normal sized meal. So I still eat from the kids menu. And then back in the day, I would eat like half the kids menu. That's still something that I kind of deal with. And the pain specifically felt like a really dull, aching sensation, a lot of pressure, and it felt horrible. I no longer have the big pain when eating now that I have my ileostomy bag, but I still struggle to eat like a bigger portion meal. Another symptom I had was when I would have pain when I didn't eat for a while. So let's pretend I would, I don't know, skip 2 meals. So I only ate at dinner. You know, that burning sensation that, or I guess maybe normal people don't have that, but for me, it really burned and it hurt so bad. It was something with my acid, I'm not sure, but I needed to make sure that I was at least having like a little snack, something, because if I just left my stomach empty, it would hurt so bad. I think I'm gonna skip through this one, but when I wake up from a long night's sleep, I wake up with that like really bad pain as well. That is something that still happens. Again, if I don't eat, I have pain, and then when I wake up, it hurts because I haven't ate all night, so that's still a thing. Oh yeah, another pain that I have is when I wake up, my stomach hurts on the left side, and that's pretty much what wakes me up in the morning. And I think that happens, it has something to do with my bladder. Once I stand up, go to the bathroom, empty my bladder, go back to bed, it feels a lot better, but waking up having my bladder full is just miserable. Also, during the day, if I don't empty my bladder as soon as possible, and all these bladder stuff is still symptom I experienced today. If I don't hurry up and empty my bladder as soon as I have to pee, maybe in the first like 20 minutes, I will get really sharp gas pains in my colon. That part no longer happens. I don't have, obviously, since I have an ileostomy bag, I don't have gas. I don't pass gas. Gas does not travel through my colon anymore. So that's actually a fixed symptom. But before, when I wouldn't empty my bladder, I'd get these really sharp pains like in my sides, and it would be so debilitating. Like it would hurt to physically move, and it would be like that all day long. So at 10 a.m., if I didn't use the bathroom and I had to until 11 a.m., that whole entire day I would be miserable, if not the next day as well, with sharp gas pains. If I was really sensitive to touch so here's my belly button in the middle. Anytime you touch like around it, it hurts so bad. That is something that is not a symptom anymore. You touch my stomach, I can finally say that it's not painful. Oh, last one before we talk about the big scary symptoms. I never really knew if I had to use number 2 or number 1, right? Pee and poop. I never really knew. I just had pain. Like I remember when me and my husband got together, you know, obviously we would talk about certain things and he'd be like, I have to use the bathroom. And I'd be like, how do you know you have to use the bathroom? Because when I have to do anything, I just feel a lot of pain. Now that's no longer a thing. Now I know when I have to pee. Obviously I have an ileostomy bag, so I don't really have bowel movements anymore. So that's something that got resolved with my bag as well. Now I'm going to try to make this as easy as possible. I have 3 horrific symptoms. I'm gonna call them level 1, level 2, and level 3. As I'm talking to you about my symptoms throughout this video, I will refer to level 1, level 2, level 3, and that's what I'm specifically talking about. So level 1 basically was 20% of my days I would be constipated, and externally around my colon area, it would feel swollen. So constipation wasn't something that I felt until probably I was 24. So for the last couple years, I started to get constipated. Before, I used to use the bathroom way too much, and we'll talk about that in a second. But now, or pre-ileostomy, I would be pretty much constipated 20% of my days. And what that looked like is I would pretty much not use the bathroom for about like 6 or 7 days. And then level 3 would happen. Okay, we'll talk about level 3 in a second. But what that looked like, some days, like I remember having to like put a glove on, and like, because I was so scared of level 3 happening, and I knew like the longer I waited to have a bowel movement and the longer I was constipated, the worse the level 3 would be. So I would literally get a glove and like have to I used to stick things up there to try to take it out. Miralax did not work. Literally nothing at all worked. The only thing that remotely worked was something called Mago 7. It's from Amazon. It's something my pelvic floor therapist recommended because I told her that Mago 7, one, wasn't really helpful, but it also really hurt my stomach. So once I started taking Mago 7, my stool was like a consistent, on that like scale, it was a consistent like 3 or 2. I think one's diarrhea, I think, or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe 6 or 7 is diarrhea. I don't know. It would be looser stool, wouldn't be super formed when I was on the Mago 7, but at least since I was on the Mago 7, I knew that these explosive symptoms, level number 3, wasn't gonna happen. So level number 2, which was pretty much 50% of my days, I was having extremely bad pain going to the bathroom in general. So what those days looked like was I would go to the bathroom probably like 10 plus times a day. It wouldn't be too much. It would probably be like this much, but I mean, I would go multiple times. So what that would look like is, I don't know, let's just pretend on a Monday I went 10 times. On a Tuesday, I probably didn't go. And then on the Wednesday, 10 times again. And what that would look like is again, I would know because all of a sudden I would have this extreme pain in my stomach. My mouth would water. I started to get chills and I knew I had to book it to the bathroom. If I did not go to the bathroom within a minute and 30 seconds, level number 3 was going to happen, and PTSD. So that was really hard and very debilitating because, again, I'm past tensing this. Level number 1, level number 2, and level number 3 no longer are a thing. Anyways, but level number 2 was really hard because I struggled to leave the house. I'm gonna cry. There was a lot of times where I had to use the bathroom in the car, especially towards the end of my journey in 2025 when I was like driving to Cleveland Clinic from Georgia. It was really hard. I had to have a bucket because as soon as I had that sensation, I had to go or level 3 would happen. I would say level 10 or level 2 is a complete 10 out of 10. It hurts so bad. My vagus nerve would freak the crap out. I would be having chills. Like my mouth would water, super crazy response, but that was traumatic. And then once I used the bathroom, that pain would kind of go away. The pain would be mostly in my stomach. It wasn't necessarily like a rectal pain, which I think doctors were always getting wrong. They're just like, oh, maybe your stool is just too hard and it's hurting your rectum to come out. No, I'm talking about my stomach. My intestines felt like I was going to die. That's level number 2. Level number 3, backtrack really quick. So what I'm generalizing I'm saying 20% of my days, 50% of my days. But this was towards that like last couple years. When I was 12, I would probably have level number 2, probably like a handful of times a year. That was like middle school. When I was in high school, same thing, handful times a year. When I was in college, it was happening every month. After college, level 2 was happening like every single week. And then level number 3 started in college, and it would probably be like once a month. And then after college, it would be like once a week as well. Okay. Level 3, 20% of my days, I'm in extreme, unbearable pain. Where I thought 10 was a 10, I didn't know it could get worse, because a 10, you're thinking like you're already crying, you're in pain, you're throwing up, like, so that was my level 2. Level 3, there's a pain that is so painful that you can't even scream anymore. Like I remember being on the floor, I couldn't speak because I was in so much pain. So again, I don't know what level that is, but it broke my skill. So 20% of my days, I'm in extreme unbearable pain, where my colon completely empties out within an hour and a half period. I would call this like dumping. There is a condition called dumping syndrome, and it kind of sounds like that. And then if you have a neuroendocrine tumor, it kind of sounds like those set of symptoms. like I said, I'm going to actually talk about what the process of getting diagnosed looked like with my doctor after this set of symptoms. But we did think it was a neuroendocrine tumor for just a little while. So basically, remember level number 2, I would go to the bathroom like 10 times a day, and it would be spread out. I'd probably say like once an hour, maybe twice an hour, and then skip an hour, things like that. Versus like I would wake up in the morning and I knew it's going to be a level 3. The pain was so severe. I struggled like crawling to the bathroom and making it on the toilet. Sometimes especially towards the end, most times I didn't make it on the toilet, and my limbs were so weak from being in pain that I couldn't even hold like myself up in general. So I would just use the bathroom all over the bathroom floor. Then I started using it in the tub because I'm like, that, whatever. It was ridiculous. So what that means is basically so you're sitting on the toilet, and in order to use the bathroom, you push, right? So with level number 3, I couldn't push. It was like I was involuntarily pushing, and my stool would just come out and it would be solid. So I was having solid bowel movements. It wasn't hard either. It was just regular. I would have it, and then I would have maybe 45 seconds relief. Then my colon would act crazy and shoot more out and shoot more out and shoot more out. And then a little 45-minute break or 45-second break, shoot more out. Like all of that happened. My whole entire colon would just come out. All the bowel movement come out. And then at the very end, I knew it was over because I would have diarrhea at the very, very, very end. Once I saw diarrhea, I knew there's nothing left in my colon, and that's over. That would happen for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, usually an hour and a half. It would happen as soon as I wake up, but sometimes in the middle of the night, I would be sleeping, and then I just remember my eyes would just open, and then I knew fight or flight was happening. During these painful reactions, I'm sweating severely. I'm sweating so much that my body is soaking wet. Like I felt like I had to take all of my clothes off. I felt like I just wanted to rip my skin out. I was just so hot and bothered. My skin was very red and it stung a lot. I had hives. Obviously, I have mast cell activation syndrome. So like, I think that's more what that is. And one of my triggers for my mast cell activation syndrome is being in duress or stuff like that. So that's probably what that came from. My lower back would really start to hurt. It was like a really bad aching pain. I would slur my words. I really struggled to speak or even say help or anything. Towards the last couple years, these reactions got worse and worse and worse to the point where, like I said, towards the end, I wasn't even making it on the toilet. It was really hard because in 2024, my husband lost his job. He got fired from his job because of his attitude, right? Attitude, of course. He had a bad attitude. He had a sick wife and he kept having to go in and out of the hospital, and his job literally sucked and never wanted him to take off. But like, I'm sick. So he ended up getting fired. That sounds horrible, but that was one of the best things that could have happened to me that year because I finally had someone to help me onto the toilet. Like when I was fainting, he would grab me and put me on. And that was, I got my ileostomy in 2025 in May. And in 2024 was when I started to black out on the floor. But I would probably say in 2021 was when it started where I needed help on the toilet. Luckily, we used to work from home together, so my husband has always really been there, but it's been rough. I would slur my words, I'd get really dizzy, my mouth would start to water, and saliva would just be falling out. Sometimes I fall from the toilet and use the bathroom on the floor. I did not find any triggers. There was no such diet, no such theme. Like it wouldn't happen like near my period. It wouldn't happen if I ate a certain food. It would just happen out of literally nowhere. The only trigger that I kind of found was that constipation. Again, if I didn't use the bathroom for like 6 days, I knew as soon as I used the bathroom, it's going to be a level 3. But sometimes I would have the level 2 on Monday, level 2 on Wednesday, and still on Thursday have the level 3. So it was very traumatic. I can't even begin to tell you how traumatic it was. But like I said, my ileostomy has completely saved my life. Level 1, level 2, level 3 no longer happens. I chose to get an ileostomy because I wanted to completely bypass my colon because gas hurt. Like if I had to pass gas, I would have these severe sharp pains. So now I don't use my colon. So a lot of the beginning stuff that I was saying, the bladder, hurts, the eating, that is still kind of a thing, but all at the bottom is no longer a thing. So it's really exciting. Okay, so that took way longer than I thought it was. So in the next video, we're going to be talking more about what were the doctors saying was happening to me.